Welcome back to the Wondercat channel. Today we are going over 5 security Machinedramon, a list that is exactly what it sounds like, being able to threaten 5 checks in a given swing. Obviously there will be a small amount of setup, but this deck is certainly scary. Anywho, let's see what we are playing with. Onto the deck list. Starting off with the deck's boss monster, BT23's Machinedramon. This card is an absolute unit, being able to de-Digi1 and delete an 8k or less threat on play or when digivolving. And with a sec +1 means that we're already starting off with a 2-check swing and removal on a single body. This Machinedramon is arguably going to be the peak of machine archetype for Pauper for quite a while. The card is just, yeah, it's crazy. It will be a mandatory digicost of 4 in this list since we do not play any CS trait level 5s. The deck is actually looking to abuse the Digimon shell for it to generate its value, if this gives you any idea on where we are heading. Of course, we play the 4 copies of Machinedramon because a good card is good, and it will be what leads to our crazy 5-check swings. To complement our Machinedramon, we're going to be playing a 2-2 split of both Phoenixmon and BT23's Yugo. Phoenix's on deletion adds another card to our security stack, placing itself face up and enables our Machinedramon's when attacking effects, giving us more value. Yugo is a 5-cost memory setter that when played can essentially swap our top security card with a face-up Zaxxon card from either our trash or hand, end of turning allowing us to swing with either a machine-type Digimon or Zaxxon trait, giving both Phoenixmon and Machinedramon added pressure. Since this is not a Zaxxon deck, these two are here to complement our big boy, and are by no means the most important part of our list. Yugo can help with memory starving, and Phoenix gives us an obvious auto-include supporting level 6. Speaking of both Phoenixmon and Machinedramon, their effects are both DP-based removal. So it only makes sense that with playing a Digimon shell, that we play 4 copies of BT12 Digimon. During your turn, add 1k to the maximum your DP-based deletion effects can delete. Honestly, there's very little other option for egg choices here, since the majority of our deck's lineup will just try to delete everything possible through DP-based removal on our way up to Machinedramon. This turns our Phoenixmons on play when attacking to 10k and Machinedramon to 9k respectively. It's pretty good. Both very relevant against green decks that have all turns DP raising inheritance. But 9k and 10k base deletion effects, those are rookie numbers. We're going to bump those up. So with 2 copies of BT17's Digimon during all turns, while you have 0 or less memory, add 2000 to your maximum DP base deletion effects. So again, now with our egg and this, we have a 12k nuke on our Phoenix and 11k on Machinedramon. That's pretty much going to cover everything that's playable in Pauper outside the odd buff that will stick around for longer than any given turn. It's really only used for the inherited, which is why we play the 2 copies. But to add to our consistency, to make sure that we are just ensuring nothing ever lives, we're also going to play 3 copies of BT9 Gil X. This card is a poor man's version of our EX8 variation, which is significantly better in every way. But unfortunately, EX8 is a rare, so we're left playing this one. A digicost of 0 on any Digimon, a meddling play cost of 4, which is less than ideal. Its inherited adds another 1k to our removal based effects. It's mainly played as another buff inherited and helps speed up our draw engine, 0 cost digi, whatever. It's not helpful enough, I want it all the time, I'm happy with it at 3 copies. I guess we may as well cover our other Digimons while we're here. We're going to play 4 copies of BT21 Digimon, 0 cost digi on any of our Gigis, which is great. On play, by trashing a card with Gilmon, Growlmon, Gallon, or Magidra in name, draw 2. Another solid filter piece for us to draw Machinedra, and with an inherited on deletion, gain a memory, we can play more aggressively with early swings if not going for the meme 5 checks. A lot of our option cards are purple, so it's important we play a few purple Gilmon pieces to ensure that all our cards are playable when needed. Our last guild, 2 copies of BT5, 3 costs on deletion. If deleted by an effect, gain a memory. It's a really decent tempo piece. It's more or less BT21's inherited, but on a rookie face, which is awesome. We have a few ways to trigger this, and since it's the only Gilmon that doesn't digivolve via our egg, it'll likely be the card that we end our turn on playing, or play out for free with some of our other effects. We can, of course, play this out for free through the likes of EX3's Wargrowl, a cost of 3 on a purple Digimon, or 3 on any Digimon or Growlmon in name. When digivolving, both players will trash 3 cards from the top of their deck. Then, if a player has 5 or more cards in trash, which If we're at level 5 Wargrowl, like, yeah, that's probably likely we're triggering this. You can play a Takato or a Gilmon from trash for free. Now, at this point, you'd probably think that Rush Gil is in here, but, like, honestly, if we can threaten 5 security checks in this list on one swing, the small amount of usage playing the Rush Gil does in this list, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, I was originally running it, and I was like, it isn't needed. We're also unable to play Takato since every currently printed variation is a rare or higher, which really sucks for this. Like, if we had, like, any given Takato, just, you know, a check tamer named Takato, the deck could be even stronger, but it's whatever. You know, we'll make do. BT5 Gil is an obvious choice here, or if needing to dig more, we can play the BT21 off this effect. We can only play the one because our level 5 lineup is quite stacked and low on space. We also play 2 copies of Megiddo Flame, a 4-cost purple option that allows you to delete a level 4 or lower Digimon your opponent controls. If you delete one of your Digimon, delete a level 6 or lower instead. It's not bad. So if we target our BT5 Gil here, it turns this into a 3-cost, delete a level 6 removal option, which is pretty solid. I'm a big fan. We can also target whatever stack has our BT21 Gilmon in it to gain back an extra memory as well. In security, just play a Gilmon from trash without paying its cost. This card is an awesome tech piece in most purple aristocrat style decks, but shines much more here in a deck that uses and abuses a full Gilmon rookie lineup. Whilst we abuse our poor BT5 Gilmon and other small Digimon for value, we're going to play 2 copies of the Digimon I designed for maximum payoff value. A 2-cost purple option, when used, draw 1 then trash 1. During your turn, when an effect deletes Digimon, use its delay effect. One of your Digimon with Gilmon or Growlmon in name may Digivolve into a Digimon with Growlmon, Megiddo, or Galan in name without paying the cost from trash. This small filter investment works really well, exceptionally with the majority of our deck, but is easily triggered off our Machinedramon blowing something up when Digivolving or when attacking with Phoenixmon. In security, gain a memory, then place this card onto the board. Purple Pauper is all about that resource management, and having a couple of these in this list feels like our own version of wisdom training. We get to dig, it's cheap, it basically helps us skip a level in Digivolving. It's pretty good, and it's even better because it's thematic. To make sure we always have the pieces we need in hand, we also play 2 copies of Glaive Memory Boost. When used, returning a purple Digimon from trash to hand on delay, gaining 2 memory. Purple is, like, it's pretty well spoiled with options for memory boost in Pauper. Between this, you've got Miss Memory Boost and Tarnished Hero. Tarnished Hero can be used in green as well. There are also other decks like Adventure being able to use Believe in Our Friendship that digs specifically for Adventure trait cards, but it's technically another purple memory boost. We aren't really built around milling our own deck or trashing our own deck or the opponent's, so Glaive helps recur what we lose in combat or through trashing from hand or the odd self-mill that we do use. We also play the single copy of Calling from the Darkness, 1-cost option, delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon from trash to hand. Note that the deletion part of this card's effect is not mandatory, so you can still pay 1 for this and return 2 cards to hand even if you do not have a Digimon to delete. But if you do have one on board, you must delete something, completing as much of the card as possible in all. This is limited because it allows purple to loop cards too efficiently, which is fair. Another great thematic inclusion with Gilmon in the art. Love it. In security, adding it to hand, nothing special there. We also play the single limited copy of Gravity Crush. It of course makes its home in the traditional Megiddo combo loop that ran standard for a couple of months and ruined standard to an extent during BT21, and more or less abused the idea that with enough free memory and being able to loop multiple on-play Rush Digimon, it didn't matter if you played one of these or 4, it was just extremely advantageous. We're playing this card in a similar style, looking to set up our 5 security swing on the turn that we do play this. Our last option, and one of the coolest inclusions to the deck, 3 copies of Fire Rocket. Another 1-cost option, because these options, they got to be cheap, they got to be efficient, and when they're all 1-cost and 2-cost, you love to see it. Ignoring its color requirements of red, if you control an armor form Digimon, I mean, the deck is basically all red anyway, so, you know, it's not super relevant here. Giving one of our Digimon with 2 or more colors Sec +1 for the turn. This card turns our Machinedramon into a 3-check machine. If we had all of these in hand at once, it would be an insane 3-memory 5-check swing, which would be funny enough to imagine, but the title isn't based on triple Fire Rocket for game. This card is just amazing value for the amount of extra pressure it does create for just 1 memory. Remember that we play Flame Memory Boost in red decks, which on play gives Sec +1 to something. That was one of the best ways for our Agumon Rush list to try and swing games faster, and it costs 3 memory to play. Yes, it was also a memory boost card, but who needs memory for next turn when you can win on this one? Fire Rocket is one of the ways we bump up our Machinedra's security check count from 2 up to 3. If you have multiples in hand, good for you. You're that much closer. If you weren't keeping track, we run a total of 11 options, which is certainly on the high side, but with 2 copies of BT17's Violet, she can help with even more filtering. BT17's Violet, BT19's, I believe. A 4-cost purple memory setter, start of main. By trashing an option card in hand, we get to draw one. This leads Violet to be an excellent turn 1 play if we end up being very option heavy and we need to dig through our deck faster. She bumps up our memory setter and tamer count to 4, which means there's a decent chance we see one of these in the first couple of turns. We need to finally get around to our level 4s and level 5s though. Our level 4s consist of 1 copy of the limited EX3 Growlmon. This card is the next piece to our Machinedramon 5-check puzzle. Digicost of 2 on any of our Gilmons. When Digivolving, delete a Digimon with 3k DPLS, which is bumped up to 4k with our Egg or 6k with our BT17 Gil under it, and with 0 memory. If we don't kill anything, each player mills 2. Mediocre card on face value, but we run this bad boy for his inherited. When attacking by deleting one of your other Digimon, this Digimon gets sec +1 for the turn. This inherited, blowing up our little BT5 Gil, turns Machinedramon into a 4-check swing, which gives us back the 1 memory we used to play our Fire Rocket. We would 100% play more of this if we could, but inherited's far too strong, so it's limited. Next, we play the full playset of BT21's Growlmon. Again, Digivolving for 2 on all of our Gil. When Digivolving or on play for a cost of 5, delete a 4k or less. If you don't, trash 2 cards from your deck. This card is a necessary evil for the deck. Again, it doesn't feel super strong by any means. It offers a removal, and with its on deletion, gain a memory inherited. We can swing aggressively with the stack, have it not die, then come back and kill it off with one of our cheap utility options, net back some extra memory and such. Going on with our Growlmons, though, we play 3 copies of EX8 Growl X. Kind of wish this was the rare and Gil X was an uncommon, because whilst they both share the same when an opponent's Digimon is to lead a game on memory inherited, this card is maybe a little too strong for being an uncommon, but we're going to use it because we can. I mean, I do kind of just really like EX8 Growl X, Gil X, but, you know. A Digicost of 3 on our Gil, or 0 on Growlmon specifically. When Digivolving, draw 1 then trash 1, and if you have Growlmon underneath this bad boy in materials, it'll gain on deletion, play Gilmon from trash for free until end of your opponent's turn. This card embodies what a good Gilmon card is, and was one of the many cards being called upon to be hit when the ban list to nerf Megidra loot was released. But between both Rush Gil and Gravity Crush being hit, the deck saw enough of a drop in playability that this didn't need to be touched. Similar to its Gilmon counterpart, it's mainly here to help dig towards our Machinedramon, Fire Rockets, and EX3 Growlmon. Our last level 4 though, 2 copies of Black Growlmon. We play this to ensure we can return necessary combo pieces like our EX3 Growlmon or our BT5 Gilmons. Digicost of 2 on all our Gils. This card is the only reason we play 3 Growlmon X. If we weren't playing this, we'd play the full playset. Its inherited is basically, it's when Digivolving, again being able to return a Gilmon or Digimon with Growlmon in name from trash to hand, which is very good for us. Black Growlmon looks really sick here, and as usual, Koki nailing it with the art department. Just, man. I don't think I've seen a single Koki art that I didn't like. Lastly, the rest of our level 5s. 3 copies of Wargrowl BT23. Digicost of 3 on all our level 4s, on play and when Digivolving. Trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then it gains Raid and Retaliation until your opponent's turn ends. We don't use its when attacking effect, we're going to skip over that part. Inherited on deletion, trash your opponent's top security card. This card can also turn our Machinedramon to a potential 5-check swing, assuming he would die on the 5th check, though that is pretty unlikely that he gets through the first 4 and then dies on the 5th. We can build up a stack with a couple of our other level BT21 Gil line, delete Machinedra with Megiddo or Calling from the Trash for that last security. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not impossible to trigger it, but if it happens, it happens, it's cool. Our last card, 4 copies of Wargrowl X from EX8, a Digicost of 4 from our level 4s, or 1 on our Wargrowls. He can't be returned to the hand or deck by opponent's effects and gets plus 3k until the end of your opponent's turn. If If Wargrowl is in his materials, delete a 10k or less body, which of course is bumped up to 14k with ideal deletion-based inheritance underneath it. Pretty good. Its own inherited, giving us Sec +1, leading to our true 5-check Machinedra swing. Having a stack of this under Machinedra, EX3's Growlmon, using a fire rocket, you swing with it, deleting another Digimon, we get a pure 5-check swing for as little as 1 memory used on that specific turn. If you have extra fire rockets, you don't need the EX3 Growl or the War Growl X, which is an added bonus and can make things significantly easier and arguably even memeier. And with 4 memory setters in the deck, we can easily build up our stack in the back until we just want to push up and threaten for that kill turn. All in all, the deck is definitely built for those wanting to enjoy what Machinedra Loop did in Standard, but to a much more balanced degree. It's memey at worst, absolutely scary and funny to see at best, and is probably one of the better Guilmon decks that we can currently play in this format. It also feels very toolboxy, which is an added bonus. Price breakdown says it'll set you back around 17 USD for everything, but again, it's Pauper. You should be able to find the majority of this in collections or bulk bins. The Violets and the Calling are the ones that are worth a couple of dollars here. As usual, deck list is going to be on the screen for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and sub. Thank you for all the love. Let me know if you build this and if you pull off the 5-check swing. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, look after yourselves. Keep on building them Pauper decks. Ta-ta.